So for the sleeves we start by chaining 14 in white, and then we just need to single crochet all the way across this foundation chain, so that will be 13 single crochets. So 1, 2 and so on. So at the end of that first row we just need to chain 1, then we turn, and then we will just single crochet across again, but this time we will just single crochet in the front loop only. So 1, 2, 3 and so on. So we'll do that for the next row and then also the row after that, so 2 rows, and then once we finish that I'll show you what to do next. So now we've reached the end of the third row, we just need to fasten off. You can leave a slight tail for sewing. So there we go. That's one piece, and then we just need to repeat all of those rows once more to make another piece like this, and then we'll be joining them together with some blue yarn. So yeah, come back when you have completed another piece like this. So now we have the 2 pieces, we're going to attach them together with the blue yarn. So make sure that you have your 2 pieces set out like this, so one of them is this way round and the other one is this way round with the final rows facing each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to reattach some blue yarn into this stitch, the beginning stitch of the final round. So let's do that. So now that's in there, then we need to do 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then what we need to do is we need to just chain 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then what we need to do is we need to single crochet into the final round of the other piece, so that's why we laid it out this way. So we're going to do 7 single crochets again along the edge, so we need to just count back 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so we're firstly going to single crochet into that stitch here, and we need to make sure that the blue tail is in the right position, so 1 second. Sorry, there we go, so I've got it in the right position now, so let's count again. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the first single crochet, and then we just single crochet in the other 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now what we have is we have these 2 white pieces joined together by this blue piece, and I'll show you what this is going to look like on the doll itself. So as you can see on this finished one, you can see this is the front piece, and then on the back that little chain 12 sits along the back of the neck, and then we just sort of sew the white sleeves here So now we're going to sew that sleeve piece to the body, and I'll show you how to do that. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to mention, when we're finishing off the blue part, we should be leaving a tail for sewing. So I'm just gonna, there we go, so I've left a piece around that long. Okay, now I'll show you how to sew it to the body. So I've now pinned the sleeve piece in place, so I'll just show you. This is the front, and then this is the back. So you'll notice that obviously there are two white pieces at the back for this side of the sleeve, and then two at the front for the other side of the sleeve. So what we're going to have to do to ensure that we can sew everything down properly is just take one of the pieces, preferably the longer piece, from the front, and just sew that, pass that through to the back. So I'm just going to pass that needle through to a stitch at the back like this, and then now we can use that to sew this back piece, and likewise I'm going to do the same for the other side. So I'm going to find the longer tail, which I think is this one, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing. Just push that through to the front. There we go, so now I can use that to sew the front white piece down. So I might just start with the blue, so I'm just going to thread that. As you can see on the other doll, we don't sew down the blue bit at the back, we just sew down the front bits. So I'm just going to start doing some whip stitches. Struggling to get that one through. There we go. I'm just going to sew up to the shoulder. So I think I'm happy to leave it there. So now I'm just going to pass the yarn through to the other side like this, and then I'm just going to do the exact same thing on that side. So I'll do that off camera because I think you get the idea. And then we just basically do the exact same thing with the white parts. So I'll just sew down one again to show you how I'm going to do it. So just get the yarn on the needle. So I'll just pick, oh sorry, I need to go through this and then pick a nearby white stitch, sew through like this, pick another one, sew through, then start going up the side. Again, we stop before we get to the arm itself because we don't want to sew the sleeve down to the arm. We want to give the impression that it actually is a sleeve rather than being attached to the arm. So if we just go up maybe a couple more stitches. Oh sorry, I'm going out of camera. That one, and then maybe just one more. So like that, and then that should be fine, and then we just do the same thing on this part, and then we sew down the back parts as well, these two parts. So I will meet you when you finish that. So now we've finished sewing the sleeves, the final part is just to make this bow at the front. So there's 3 parts to this, and I will show you how to get started. So if we grab our red yarn, then let's get started. So for the main part of the bow, I'll just tell you what I've done because it's quite straightforward. So for the first row I just chained 9, then I turned and single crocheted all the way across, so that was 18 single crochets. And then for round 2 I chained 1 and single crocheted 18, and then for round 3 I also chained 1 and single crocheted 18 across. So we end up with this piece here, and all we need to do is sort of fold it like this and slip stitch across to close it. So probably 3 slip stitches will do it, I reckon, but it doesn't really matter, you can do however many looks right to you. 2, and then 3. I might just do one final one at the end. 4. Okay, so now we have this, and all we need to do is we just need to fold it like that. So just cut your yarn, leave quite a long tail because we will need it for sewing as well and for wrapping around the bow. So I'm gonna cut here and then pull through. I'm getting in a bit of a muddle here. There we go, so I've just done that. Get the crochet hook out of the way. So now what we need to do is just wrap this around a few times, maybe like 5 times, to kind of create a bow appearance. Now this middle part is going to be covered up, as you can see, with this yellow part, so you don't really need to worry if it's not the neatest, doesn't really matter. So once you're happy with that, then you just need to kind of tie this off at the back. So the way that I would do this is thread my yarn through here and then go into all of these loops, kind of do this and then do it once more like that, and then that should be fairly secure, and then you can just leave it like that. We will need this back tail for sewing to the body. So yeah, that's the main part of the bow. So now we will make the little yellow piece, and this piece is really simple and quick, so I'll just do it here. So we just need to do 3 single crochets in a magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, pull tight, and then slip stitch to the first single crochet. Might be a bit tight to get into. There we go, and then we've got the yellow piece. So you could probably just sew it with this tail, but I'm actually gonna cut another tail that I'm gonna use for sewing that's a little bit longer because I like to have a bit extra. So there we go, and then pull that through, and now you can just sew this onto the front of the bow like this. So you might want to pin it down, or you could just do it freehand. Then once you've done that, we will make the final pieces of the bow, which is 2 red strands, and then we will sew it all to the body, and then that'll be it. So yeah. So I've sewn that yellow piece to the middle of the bow, so now we're just going to make the strands. So we just need to chain 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we just single crochet all the way along. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's that. Then we cut the yarn again. You can tie these bits together if you want for additional security. So there we go. And now we're just going to make one more of these, and then once we finish that, you can sew them to the back of the bow. So I might just show you one now, and then you can just do the other one yourself. So I'm just going to pick one of these ends. It doesn't really matter which one you use. Get my needle, and then I'm just gonna think about which way round I want it to be. So I think I want it to look like that. So I'm getting all the tails mixed up. So I'm just gonna sew it around here. Yep, that positioning looks like it's probably going to be okay. I'll go back through here, and then I might just do one of these stitches because it looks a little bit loose. Perhaps up here. That should be about right. Yep, I like how that looks, so I'm just going to leave it there. So I will just put this red end maybe through here, and then I just need to do the same with this end. So like that. Yep, that all looks fine. And then I'll just cut those ends with my scissors. So that's that one, and then yeah, like I say, you just need to do another one exactly the same on the other side, and then this bow is ready to be sewn to the Sailor Moon body. So now I have pinned the completed bow to the middle of the body at the top. So basically you should make sure that these two ends kind of cover up the sewing that we did for the sleeves, because it looks a lot neater if we do it like that. And basically to sew this down, I just kind of wing it, to be honest. So you just go in at the back. I'm going to just select a stitch here and do that a few times just around the middle, because I don't really care if the edges are not sewn down. In fact, it might look a little bit better if they're not, so it looks more like a actual bow rather than a flat piece on the clothing. So I'm just going to pick another stitch. So I don't know if you can see that very well, but basically I'm just picking a random stitch on the back and then just picking a random white stitch as well, and then just pushing the yarn through like that. And yeah, I'm just going to do that a few more times to properly secure it. Then I will just feed the red yarn through probably to the bottom of the skirt coming out here, so that I can just snip it and that won't be visible, and then it will be complete. So I will see you when we finished. So now we have finished the doll. So here is the finished Sailor Moon doll, and here is the original as well, so you can see how close I managed to get it. It's not bad actually, it's pretty much the same. Mouth's a bit more smiley on this one, but I guess this one's a bit happier. So yeah, that's it. So if you want to see the written pattern, like I say, there'll be a link to my blog in the description. I'll also put links to other places you can find me. So I have an Etsy shop where I have some paid patterns, and I also do take commissions if I have the time, so feel free to inquire about that. I am also on Instagram, and I'm also on Ravelry, so you can find me on all of those platforms. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon with a new tutorial.